You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Wednesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. I did some spring cleaning yesterday of a digital fashion. I was just on Facebook, and I was like scrolling, as you do, and I saw someone that I didn't know. Like, just fully did not know, didn't recognize the name, didn't recognize the face.
That happens all the time. I see people, and I'm like, who the hell are you?
And like, sometimes Facebook will, like, put people on your timeline that you're not friends with, but this person, we were friends. And I don't know why, but I just snapped and deleted like 100 people off Facebook yesterday.
I'd like to say thank you for not being one of those frickin' people that had to make a status being like, I'm currently purging my profile.
God. No.
If you survive, then you mean the world to me.
That's just it. I don't care if I have people on Facebook. For me, it was more, I don't know 100 people. You know what I mean? And I removed 100 people. There are still hundreds more that are on there, and it's like, when did social media tell us that we suddenly had these huge friend groups?
You know what's even more soul crushing is if you went to like look up someone on your Facebook and realized they did that to you. Like, I get it because I've done it to people.
Yeah.
I've never had it where I've been like, oh, I wonder what they're up to, and you're like, son of a bitch.
I don't.
Actually, it happened once. There's that guy that I used to work with that I told you that I
the guy that sucked.
hate. Yeah. I remember one day I was like talking shit, and I was like, oh, you want to see this guy to someone?
He pulled the trigger on you?
Yeah, he unfriended me.
That's kind of what you get for keeping somebody out of spite, though. For keeping somebody on your friends list just to be able to talk smack.
I know I'm not the only one who does that. I feel like 75% of the people I have on my Facebook are like people from high school and stuff, just so I can keep tabs and be like, all right, good to see that you're not doing well.
I will say that in my purge yesterday, I did give myself a little mental health day of also clearing out some of those people. I'm like, I only have you on here so that I can get mad when I see your statuses.
It's messed up, but I will say I do think it's healthy to look at other people's lives and be like, sucks.
Which is funny, because we're always told with social media, and we always tell kids, right, never compare yourselves to other people on the internet. You never know what someone's going through. You can never hold yourself to their standards. But you're right, there is something nice about punching down every now and again.
Dude, you're having a bad day, and then you see that kid from high school is still trying to be a SoundCloud rapper? Oh my God. You can't pay your mortgage, but you're like, this guy still lives with his mom. Like, this makes my life 10 times better.
But he's got bars, though.
There's nothing wrong with comparing yourself to people sometimes. Sometimes you gotta do it, man. Sometimes you gotta.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We like to tap into our own personal experiences to tell stories and to talk to our audience. And one thing that I think that we do really well is we take things that have happened to us and we use it as a learning opportunity for other people. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take an opportunity to be a little bit vulnerable here, and I'm just asking that you be measured in your response to what I'm about to say. But for anybody who didn't know, when you put new wipers on your car by yourself, there is sometimes a small plastic piece that you have to take off of the wiper, otherwise it doesn't work properly.
Wait, what? Okay, like, I know that.
Yeah, I didn't.
How did you learn that? I'm curious. Is this your first time putting wipers on by yourself?
It's not my first time. It's probably the first time in about 20 years because I hate the process. I find it to be a pain in the ass.
Sure.
So when I take my car in for service, I just ask them to do it.
Hold up. Were you driving around with the plastic still on your windshield wipers?
For like maybe 2 days.
Are you kidding right now? Like, are you messing with me right now? Is this a real thing?
It was only for like 2 days. It didn't even rain for most of it.
Dude, it's rained. It's rained quite a bit over the past week.
I thought...
How old are you again?
40.
40 years old?
Yeah.
What were you doing? Were you just in the car like, oh, these wipers suck?
I was like, damn, I bought Dutz. I got lemon wipers.
Oh, they didn't sharpen my wipers before.
Well, no, obviously I didn't think they'd sharpen my wipers. I just thought, honestly, you
didn't look at them for 2 days?
And I was kind of right about this. My first instinct was that I must have installed them incorrectly. And it turns out I was right. in the worst possible way.
I honestly, I don't know what to say to that, man. I don't know how you didn't realize that.
Listen, sometimes...
It doesn't take a mechanic to figure that one out.
Not everybody is good at everything.
Did you figure out yourself, or did someone else figure it out for you?
I figured it out myself.
Oh, okay, thank God.
Because after a couple of rains, and I was like, this is dumb. Like I said, I was like, I must have put these on wrong. So I'm in my driveway, and I'm looking at them, thank God, in my own driveway where no one else can see me.
And then it slid right off and
I
blew your
lift
mind.
them up, and I go, oh, no. And yeah, you just have that, like, shh.
Someone just texted in. Art said, Dalby, I work in the automotive field. Don't worry, you're not the first on that one.
Thank you. This is what I'm saying. Obviously, I'm not proud of my behavior, but if I can save one other person from being mocked mercifully by their friends...
You know, I respect what you're doing here. I don't know if anyone else would have the gall to admit it, though, you know?
Couldn't have waterboarded this one out of you?
Yeah. You're like the people that go to the gas station and don't know what side their gas tank is on.
Oh, God. Okay, one time that happened, but that was like I was a teenager. All right, I was still learning.
Do you want to know a fun fact? Maybe you don't know this.
What's that?
On like your dash.
Oh, there's a little arrow.
There's a little arrow.
No, I know that now.
You know that?
I know that
okay,
now.
All right.
Yeah. And you don't have to take any plastic off of the little arrow. It just works right out of the box.
I can't believe that, dude. I've never heard of anyone making that mistake before.
I'm not a car guy. I don't know.
I'm not a car guy either. Like, when you take it out of the package,
it's not in the instructions. The instructions tell you how to attach the wiper to the car. At no point does it tell you that there is a plastic part that you have to remove.
There's two types of guys out there: the guys that read the instructions and the guys that just know how to put on a wiper, I guess, eh?
Nothing wrong with reading the instructions.
You know what? Let's see how many honest folks are out there. 762-555.
Yeah.
Before today, did you know that there was a plastic guard on the wipers when you buy them? Yes or no?
I don't think it should just be today. I think at any point did you make a similar mistake that I did. All right? Because maybe you haven't done it recently, but maybe you did the same thing like 20 years ago.
I am so glad you realized this on your own and you didn't go to like a Jiffy Lube or something.
Ask someone, tell them like, I think I need new wipers, and they just go,
That would have been soul crushing, dude.
I don't know that I could have come back to work. I think I might have had to have quit my job. I mean, can't have people in this community know. Well, I guess I just told everyone.
I was going to say, how about a round of applause for honesty in a world where guys don't admit their faults?
Listen,
I'm proud of you,
I'm
man.
always going to keep it 100% with our audience, with our people.
Mm-hmm.
Part of what makes this show what it is our willingness to be vulnerable with each other.
This is also just a life lesson. If you're a father and you haven't talked to your son in a while, Dalby's dad never realized.
That's right. That's his fault.
This is your dad's fault.
That's his fault. He ran out when I was like 6.
It's more important than ever.
You think the
to be
one
a good
thing
dad to your kids?
The one thing he could have done before he went to go get that pack of smokes is tell me how to replace windshield wipers.
Life lesson. Be a good dad to your kids. All right? Don't let them end up like this. I love you, man, but that's hilarious.
I love you too.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We've got friend of the show, Nicole, on the phone now. Nicole, you work at an auto body place. Have you ever seen anyone do what Dalby did and come in not realizing that they still had the windshield wiper condom on, or yes or no?
Yes.
I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. But I've had people put gas in their washer fluid reservoir.
What? No.
Several times now.
They thought it was the gas tank?
No. They were filling up the washer fluid reservoir, and they put gasoline in it instead of the washer fluid.
But that's what I'm saying. They thought that spot was where gasoline goes.
Or did they just think gas was washer fluid?
No, they thought gas was washer fluid.
That's amazing. That's so good.
You look me in the eyes right now and tell me I'm not the worst.
Sure. Okay. I never thought about it before, but if you work as like a mechanic or in a body shop, you must see some wild stuff, eh?
Oh, yeah. You have no idea.
Oh, man. I can only imagine like the dumb stuff people come in with questions on.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And listen, let's just also acknowledge there are plenty of people texting in saying that they have had the same thing happen to them.
Plenty is a stretch. I'll give you at least 5 people that texted in saying they've done the same thing that you have.
As a wise man once said, there are dozens of us, all right? There are plenty of people out there.
Someone tried comparing it to leaving like the plastic protective screen on your TV for too long. It's not the same thing, but I get where you're coming from.
I did once try to put a screen protector on a phone that turns out came with one, like factory, like in the box. So every time I try and stick it wouldn't stick properly because it was trying to stick to another screen protector.
Yeah.
And I went online and I was like, does anybody else have this problem? Is this a defect with this phone? And there's so many threads where like, hey, you've already got a screen protector.
It's a plastic layer.
It came on there.
I mean, I think some people honestly keep it on just to keep it on.
Oh, 100%. And then, you know what the thing is like, especially if you've got like a big TV that has that big peel away it's so satisfying.
Oh, absolutely.
To get it all in one pull. That I get why people keep it on there because they think that it is like a screen protector or something like that. Like, oh, what if something happened to my TV? But it's like, you ever go to somebody's house and you just want to peel it?
Yeah,
like, oh, just let me do it.
It's funny, you can catch people slipping when they buy new appliances. They don't realize that's all over it too.
Yeah. Anything nowadays that's got like a screen or any kind of like a touch screen or anything like that, there's gonna be a piece of plastic over it. Even some of the like shiny or plastic parts of your furniture now. Just peel it. It's so good.
Is it bad to keep it on, do you think? Like on certain items, do you think it could be a hazard keeping the protective?
I don't think so.
I was going to say, imagine if your house caught on fire and they were like, dude,
turns out
you should have taken that protective layer off.
The only things I can think of would be like dryer or microwave. I guess when you get a new oven these days, it comes with a lot of stuff inside, but the plastic stuff's all on the outside. So you would have to.
You know what? There's probably a lot of people who have like started their oven not realizing that there's styrofoam and cardboard on the inside.
Dude, it doesn't take much Googling to see people who like will use the oven as storage space in like apartments and stuff like that. And not tell other people. So other people who live there will come throw the oven on and it's like, I've got bowls in there.
Wait, what do you mean people are using it as storage?
If you live in a very small apartment, you are limited for where you can put things. It's big in Asian culture.
I've never seen that before.
To use the oven as a place to keep like extra pots and pans and things like that because you don't have cupboard space for it.
Oh, I thought you were saying like people are like putting just stuff in there.
Anything.
I was like, that's on you. Like, if I start a fire because of that, I was just trying to make some chicken wings. It's not my fault you left your Levi's in there.
I use my oven as a bookshelf, and I won't have anybody tell me that I'm wrong.
Someone's probably done that before.
Suddenly, the little washer condom on my windshield washers doesn't seem so bad, does it?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I once worked at this shop. The owner, it was one of those family deals. Like the business was passed down to him from his dad. Like he was turning wrenches before he was walking, kind of thing. He went out and bought this gas generator, brought it into the shop, and he brand new out of the package. He's setting it up and whatnot. Goes to start it, can't get it started. Fought with this thing for a half hour. He was red in the face. He's sweating. Like I thought he was going to pull the brand new pull cord right out of it. He is losing his marbles over this thing. Meanwhile, you know when you buy certain things, there's like a little tag that sticks out. Sometimes you got to pull it out.
Yeah.
To make things work. Well, there was one of those hanging off the side of it. Big red thing. Telling you that you have to top up the oil before it'll start. And it's like right in your face kind of thing, right? Eventually one of us just walked by and spotted that. Yeah, he didn't live that one down.
Even if you're not trying to be a dick, it's hard not to be, you know?
That's like, there's no polite way to say, did you not see the giant logo that tells you what to do?
It's not even a matter of opening the instruction manual. No, there's a great big tag hanging off the side of it saying, hey, you, put some oil in this thing.
That's like the equivalent of telling your missus, like, I don't know where this thing is, and then she comes and just finds it instantly.
Just pulls it out from a drawer.
I don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't happen with me.
I'm not calling you a liar. I just don't believe you, man.
The The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I just want to say, if you head over to BaDPod.ca, you can check out the new merch that we have dropping this morning.
Sorry, excuse me?
Oh, I haven't told you yet.
I run the merch store. What do you mean the new merch? I have designed all the merch that goes into our merch store.
Well, I was able to sneak something on there. If you take a little look-see at BaDShop.ca.
What the hell?
If you guys, well, Dalby's looking at this. If you guys remember, maybe 4 weeks ago, Dalby was having a conversation about how he was annoyed with old people driving on the roads.
That's not how the conversation went.
Please don't interrupt me. That's very rude. It's very rude.
Whoa.
Dalby was complaining.
What is this?
Dalby was complaining about old people driving, and unanimously people started texting in saying that we should start selling shirts that say Dalby hates old people. Now, I talked with the boss.
Obviously, we cannot sell shirts that say Dalby hates old people.
So we did the next best thing. I contacted Marty the Martiste.
That is not the next best thing.
He drew a great design of Dalby as an old person, and it says Dolby on it. What do you think?
Doesn't look anything like me. It's
different.
A bald guy with a beard. That's the only similarity.
Dude, that looks exactly like you.
I don't own a cane.
Not yet.
I would never wear Crocs.
Not yet. That's you in like 15 years, dude.
I am too self-conscious to wear sleeveless shirts.
I felt morally wrong to put out a shirt saying Dalby hates old people because, like, I feel like that could get misconstrued. We could get in some trouble.
But this you felt fine about.
Absolutely. I think it looks great. You guys got to see it for yourself. Please text
Why?
Text a shirt to 762-555 right now. If you text shirt, we'll send you the link to BaDShop.ca. 100% of the proceeds, as always, going to go support the Cancer Society.
Not only is he wearing Crocs, he's wearing socks and Crocs.
Why are you trying to diminish the shirt right now? I'm trying to plug it, dude.
See, and that's the problem, is because everything on our website, everything on our merch store, we have a guarantee that all the proceeds go to charity.
That's a good thing.
So you've put this on here, and I can't even say anything because then I'm anti-charity.
Yeah, I mean, do you not... sorry, maybe I should have ran it by you. Do you not like the shirt?
No, it makes me look like I'm an 80-year-old man.
Well, it didn't feel right to say that you hate old people, so I just figured I'd say that you are becoming old. So... I can't take it down. If I take it down, then like, dude, like, then yeah, you're right. Then you hate charity if we take it down. So.
He has so many liver spots.
I mean,
I'll say this. As always, our good friend Marty the Martiste has done fine artwork.
I think you've never looked better, honestly.
Oh, friend, you take that back right now. You take that back right now.
You can't hate old people if you are one on a shirt.
I'm not an old person. I also don't hate old people. I got yelled at by an old woman. This is different.
You're bringing up old stuff right now.
You're bringing up old stuff.
I'm trying to move forward. That's why I made this shirt. Everybody wanted Dalby hates old people shirts, and I thought that was just wrong. So I made the Dolby shirt. Text shirt to 762-555. If you buy one, all the proceeds going straight towards the Cancer Society. Are you really mad? It's for a good cause, brother.
This is the first thing in our merch store at BaDShop.ca that I can't buy for myself. I can't wear this shirt.
You can buy one for your kids.
My kids would wear this every day.
Yeah.
Because they're just as disrespectful as you are.
Don't you want to help out the Cancer Society?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
This is for a good cause, man. Don't make it about yourself right now.
You made it about me.
I didn't do anything.
The shirt says Oldby.
The people wanted a shirt. I gave the people somewhat of what they wanted. Maybe I should have ran it by you first, but I thought, you know what? I thought you'd like it. I thought you'd be happy that we're helping out the Cancer Society, but here we are.
You can lie to them. Don't you lie to me.
Don't make me out to be the bad guy here.
At no point did you think I would like this. The only saving grace is that you and Marty will not make any money from this, and it all goes to the Canadian Cancer Society.
I'm fine with that, dude. I'm absolutely fine with that.
Only good thing about this.
You guys got to check out this shirt. Please buy one, not only because it helps out the Cancer Society, but just to let Dalby know that he is getting old as well, and he's becoming what he slowly hates. So,
I'll tell you right now, my eyebrows have never been that bushy. This guy looks kind of good.
Like I said, you've never looked better, in my opinion, honestly. The future's looking bright for you, dude.
That's
if
a clean
the future,
shave.
yeah.
I mean, other than the fact that he's hunched over with a cane.
I mean,
if I'm hunched over like this, I'll be almost your height.
I've seen you walk up the stairs.
This is the Brock and Delby podcast.
I saw a dude walking a pig in my neighborhood yesterday.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I was walking the dogs, and I was coming down this street a few blocks from my house. I kid you not, man.
Just
Big old
on-
hog, just on the sidewalk,
I
man.
don't care for that. Just like on a leash?
No, off leash too.
An off-leash hog in the neighborhood?
I was like, as I was coming up, I was like, what kind of dog is that? And then I heard like a pig snout kind of sound. Yeah. And then as I got closer, I'm like, I might move the dogs over a bit. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, you see that, right? When two dog owners see each other, you kind of like maybe one walks to the curb, the other's on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Keep them separated.
well, I walked by and I was like, man, what kind of dog is that? I made the joke and
Yeah.
the guy laughed and he's like, oh, this is Maggie. She's 11 years old. Like,
Aw.
I was like, no way, dude. You just have a pet pig?
Just strutting with a pig.
And he's like, yeah, that's my girl. And I wanted to ask so many more questions, but I didn't want to be rude at the same time. Like,
Do you think that maybe Maggie's putting on a few pounds? Because
oh,
you've been living.
she was huge.
You've been living in that neighborhood for 3 years now.
I have
something like
never
that?
seen her once.
He says this pig is 11, and all of a sudden now he's out for a walk. I'm just thinking, like, I think it's either the owner or Maggie. Maybe is like, we need some steps.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're in a new neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Maybe he just moved there. He's
Yeah.
checking the neighborhood out, taking the pig for a walk.
Absolute unit, though. Dude, like, bigger than my dogs. My dogs are like 70,
Yeah.
80 pounds. Like, this thing was friggin' huge.
Although you got to be pretty comfortable to let any animal off leash, right? It would have been funnier actually if it was on a leash, but like letting your pig just roam feels bold.
Yeah, and the dogs didn't care either, actually. I thought the dogs would be a little cheesed at it. But
You got pretty well behaved dogs in the grand scheme comparatively.
you never know with other animals, but
That's true. This is your first dog on pig experience.
I just have so many questions for the guy that I wish I could ask. Like, does he let it sleep inside?
Oh.
You know, does it have like a pig pen or does
Right.
it have its own room?
The classic dog questions, right? Do you let your pig up on the furniture?
Yeah, it's your pig sleep in the bed. Can you call your room a pigsty, technically?
I'm just picturing brother sitting on a 2-seat love seat watching Pirates of the Caribbean with old Maggie curled up next to him on the couch.
What a trip that would be to like stay over at that dude's house and in the middle of the night you just hear like
You wake up and the pig's at the foot of the bed just staring at you.
licking your feet or something.
Ah, no!
You probably can't eat bacon in that household then, right?
I would have to assume that that's kind of
Like
uncool.
like if you were a pig and you
Yeah.
smelled, your brother and like being cooked up, that would have to mess you up a bit.
Do you think pigs know what burnt pig smells like?
Ugh.
I mean, you think about it, right? The average pig lives outside
Yeah.
on a farm. They're not inside smelling their own kind getting grilled up. That pig would probably smell bacon and be like, oh, damn, what is that?
Yeah.
It'd be like if it turns out cooking humans smelled good. I wouldn't know until you told me.
Yeah.
I've never smelled cooked human flesh before.
I hope not.
So
Yeah.
I think the pig is probably in the same boat.
If I was breaking into that house,
Yeah.
that would be so terrifying. Like if you hear a dog or something, right? That's a warning.
Yeah.
But if you're like about to break into a home and all you hear is
Do you think Buddy has beware of pig signs in the yard?
yeah, I hope so. I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, you hear of people having all these wild pets.
Yeah.
but, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's got to be up there for, I mean, other than if you actually know someone who's got a pet raccoon, pet pig in an urban situation is crazy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
also, I kind of want one now.
Off leash
I
too.
want a pet pig, bro.
Off leash Hoggin, dude.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We had to get Graham on the phone. Graham, what's the weirdest pet you've ever seen someone have, dude?
Well, back in the day, out near Delta, there's a family that had a pet black bear. Yeah, and his name was Tony, and they always fed him Coca-Cola.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just that shit that happens out in the country.
That felt like a sentence that, when you do like your autocomplete on your phone and you just keep tapping a button until it makes a sentence? That's what that sentence felt like.
Yo, dude, they don't have Cocaine Bear. They have Coke Bear.
Coke Bear.
I swear to God.
Cocaine Tony over here.
Do you know, like, did they just find, like, a cub and they just kept it?
Yeah, I'd assume so. I mean, not many people are probably trapping live, fully grown black bears and just keeping them.
For the sole purpose of making them a pet?
Yeah.
See, my thought is like, do you adopt a bear or does the bear adopt you? Because if a bear shows up at my house tomorrow and just hangs out in the backyard, I guess he's my pet now because I'm not telling him
You
otherwise.
live with the bear. The bear doesn't live with you.
That's just it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. You've lost all control.
I'm no longer the man of the house.
Was he cool? Like, he was chill? Like,
Yeah. Like, you just kind of lived out back in a little pen and, yeah.
was he on, like, a leash or something, or was he, like, a free-roaming bear?
No, it was just like in like this big pen they built for him, and that was about it. Like he just kind of chilled out, had the odd Coke or two, and
Just all jacked up off Coca-Cola in the backyard.
The Coke thing is just why. Because how do you find out? It's weird enough that you have a pet bear. How do you then find out that your pet bear likes soda pop?
I mean, like, I think we've known for a long time. Like, the Coca-Cola commercials every Christmas with the polar bears, dude. It's,
See, but that's with polar bears. I wouldn't want to just make assumptions that all bears like sodas.
Sure.
What if grizzly bears like Mountain Dew?
We've got so many texts in. Someone said they knew someone who had, like, basically a crocodile. What was the term that they gave there?
It's a caiman, which I had to Google because I'd never heard of it, and it is in the alligatorid family, but they're like small, like tiny things, almost like the little bad guys from the old Donkey Kong Country games.
That had to be in Florida for sure. That had to be in Florida. Another person saying a tiger.
Yeah.
A few other people saying pigs in there as well. But we got, I believe it's Randy on the phone. Randy, what's the wildest pet you've ever seen someone have?
Well, a guy across the road from us had like one of the big skunks with the double stripes, and it would get out and go running through the neighborhood, and it was total pandemonium. People were just freaking, right? Because they didn't understand. Like, it had been descended, but it was neat. Like, because it'd chase you.
Yeah, listen, I feel like we're all friends here. We can all be honest with each other. I don't get out for a lot of walks. But if I'm walking down the neighborhood sidewalk and a double-line skunk pops out in front of me...
Terrified.
I'm not assuming this is someone's domesticated pet. I'm crapping my pants here.
Oh, yeah, like kids, everything would just scream and run, right? Everybody'd be going, and it'd be chasing them because it liked the attention.
Dude, that's actually the best guard animal, honestly.
100%.
If you were breaking into a house and you saw a skunk, you're piecing ASAP.
I might be able
gone.
to... I might be able to pet a dog. I might be able to work around like whatever animal it is you've got. But if I come around the back door, like if I'm trying to break in and I see a skunk, I go, not this house.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. Especially if it starts chasing you. It's like, oh, give me food. Pet me.
Pet skunk is not something I was expecting when we started talking about this morning, dude.
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
One thing I'm wondering about having a pet pig. Are you allowed to eat it afterwards?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's a law preventing.
I mean, like you can't own a dog or a cat and then just like cook it up, right? But like a pig is different because it's technically a farm animal.
Yeah, I think that's why they say you shouldn't name your kind of like butchery pets is because it's gonna make it a lot harder to eat Tim at the end of the day as opposed to just eat a pig.
But like if you have a pet frog, could you just one day be like, I want frog legs tonight? Like,
I don't think it should be on a whim. I think
like there's no law against that.
No,
right?
no. You could. You're right. If you had a pet frog and one day you got a hankering, I feel like legally you could do this. Morally, I think I would wish that you would have some trouble with it though.
Because technically, I mean, bold comparison, but it's like raising a pig is like having a garden in the backyard. If you're playing the long game, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
I have to assume though that with a pig, there's probably like a pig's probably got prime years. You know what I mean? Where like if we butcher this pig now, it will taste the best that it could. And I have to assume that at some point the quality starts to decline
For
with
sure,
age.
yeah.
So I guess you also have to like have that conversation with yourself of like, do we eat the pig when it tastes its best so that we're not wasting any of it? We're not like burying it in the backyard or anything. Or do we let it live its fullest life, but in the end, like an organ donation at a hospital,
sure,
we donate the bacon to the pan?
I will say, I remember when I was in like the 6th grade, there were these 2 twins I went to school with, and maybe I've told you this story before.
I don't know.
But they always bragged about their pet chickens. Like they put them in the Milton Fall Fair.
Oh.
They won awards and stuff.
Yep.
And then one day I got on the bus and one of the twins was just like bawling his eyes out.
Right.
And I was like, what's wrong with him? And they're like, oh, we're eating his chicken tonight. And like this kid was absolutely devastated. I mean, rightfully so. You put in all this hard work and have this bond with your pet chicken.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden it's like dinner time. Like,
you know, maybe I'm just built different. Maybe I'm raised different. The only thing I would be sad about is if it didn't taste good.
Yeah.
If it didn't taste good, I would feel like now we've disrespected my chicken.
It's either really tough to eat or like super satisfying, you know, because like how many times you go somewhere and it says like it's grass fed or whatever, like you know you did a good job.
That's right. You sit down and mom makes roast chicken and you're like, boy, I'm a good farmer.
Yeah, it's like seeing your kid go to college. You're like, I did a great job. I was a good parent.
I prepared him to succeed in life, or in this case, in death.
Potato.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.